gotta ask yourself whether reality is a dream. Are you a dream or reality? We are all a part of the answer to the meaning of it all. Come in and join us for the moment we call now. Rise up, join in, raise the whole vibration.
Yes, welcome to the live stream of consciousness. I get super excited these days when the theme song ends and I know it's going to switch to my face, so I got to put on a smile and turn up my energy. It is the live stream of consciousness. It is Thursday, June 5th. We've all agreed to call it that so we could show up here, which I love. I love that collective agreement. I'm excited today to play again with the guest that I had on Tuesday for Holding Space. It's an awesome show. So if you are a viewer of Holding Space, we're having the same guest on, but it's just a continuation of the party that we started last Tuesday. And I see Ninja Kitty out there. What's up, Ninja Kitty? I don't know what's going on. It looks like the bandwidth is going up and down. I'm popping in and out. If you are out there, do me a favor, just type in #live in the comments so I can see that pop up, because I don't know what's going on necessarily. I see Frances, my guest, popped out of the green room, so maybe I'm having a temporary bandwidth issue. Maybe she is. I don't know. Let me just take a quick look here on my internet. Nope, my internet is connected, so I think I'm good. I'm going to let Frances figure out how to get back in. But no, my internet speed looks good. But it does seem like StreamYard is popping me in and out. I do see Ninja Kitty. I do see you out there alive. I don't know who else is out there, but I'm just going to continue on as if everybody's out there, because they are, whether they're actually watching or not, they're out there, so it's all good. And I see Patricia Hauser. Okay, we'll pop over to YouTube and check for me there. Thank you, Pat. I appreciate that. Pat in the hat. So I do want to take a moment. I love taking a nice deep breath with you guys, and I imagine that on the other side of the screen, you guys are taking this deep breath, and that's connecting us in the moment to ground us and be here together. This is an intentional moment. This is a live moment. So as you can see, I can chat with you. You can laugh, and I can pop it up here. We can share laughter. We can share this moment. That's what the live stream of consciousness is all about. So I'm going to do this real quick, but I'm going to give a shout out to Brian Lahr, the Wizard of Odd, who does an amazing online meditation and breathing practice in his show. He really goes through it. He has you breathe all the way in until you can't back in anymore, and then breathe all the way out until your body just shuts down. And it's such an amazing exercise if you follow it and you do it with intention. I'm doing it on a light level right now. I'm going to just do it as, 1 or 2 breaths in and out. I do see Tim there. Thank you, Tim. And I do see Pat Pauser on YouTube. So we are out there. We're out there. We are broadcasting. So tickle the algorithm. Like I said, share the broadcast if you know someone who might like it. I know that I am hearing, I don't know if you can hear it, probably not, but Sage is over here to my left going, ooh, and responding to my voice, which I totally love. So let's bring up Sage. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose. Feel it in your lungs, and release it. Feel the release. You could feel your whole body relax as you let the breath out. Let's do it again. Deep breath out, and let's hit the Sage. Feel it vibrating in my hand throughout my whole body. I love that so much. feels so good. Can you still hear that? Can you still hear that? It feels so good. All right. Well, thank you for allowing me to do that and take take that energy. And thank you, Tim. Hashtag live. I love that sound. I do too. You know what? It's so funny. The bowl sits on top of my dresser, and throughout the day, I'll like walk past it, and I'll be like, ooh, and I'll take the opportunity to pick up the mallet and go boom, and just let it fill the room. And it's just really beautiful when you can connect to something so simple like the ringing of a crystal bowl. I am going to chat over here with Fran, who I need to resend her the link, it looks like, because she disconnected. Give me 1 second. I'm going to try to talk to you guys. I'm not making eye contact because I'm working on my computer here, sending out an email to Fran. I believe I have her email address in my AOL, so I got to go here. My address, by the way, is mrz1@aol.com. If you guys ever want to correspond, mrzee1@aol.com. I should put it up on the screen. Let me just send this message to Fran, Frances Pullin, my guest tonight. Sending her the link in an email here. Send now. I just sent it. I sent it in an email as well. So anyway, all right. Let me concentrate on you guys. I have been professing the amazing power of this platform, right? So social media has really been has a bad rep for divisiveness, right? And fighting with everybody. And everybody fights on social media, but this platform is a great platform to connect everybody. We're all here, we're all concentrating, we're all listening, we're all engaging in the story. I love the ability to do that. So thank you guys so much for coming. And I do see Fran in the green room. She's back. So we will get the show started in just a minute. But again, I love just professing the power of this platform. And I watch a lot of podcasts myself. I know I spoke about these guys the last couple of weeks. I'm just going to do it 1 or 2 more times because these guys are important to me. I watch them. I want to support them. And even in the Sacred Spiral Network, all of the people who have shows, they support each other. They pop on each other's feeds. And it's just a really great community. But the ones that I watch that I really like are Wisdom from North. Annika, this woman, Norwegian woman, I believe, she has these amazing guests and these amazing conversations. Wisdom from North is her podcast. Alex Ferrari, kind of one of the original podcasts I started watching, Next Level Soul, is another amazing podcast that I recommend. Michael Phillips, who I believe Hat Pauser, who's in the chat room, turned me on to Michael Phillips' Third Eye Drops, an amazing show. Acid for Squares, good friend Cody Snyder and his wife Tanya, who talk a lot about plant medicine and near-death experiences and different things like that. So I just recommend them. And of course, I forgot on my list all the things they don't want you to know if you're into kind of conspiracy theory stuff and all of that. Jesse Blaze, another good friend of mine who's one of the Snyders, has a great podcast called All of the Things They Don't Want You to Know. So I recommend those. I support these folks and their message because the message is always togetherness and love and collaboration and all of that stuff. And let me just straighten this out here and see what we got going. Yes, great. Next Level Soul and Third Eye Drops are both great. Yes, I think they're all the ones I said I think are great, and I recommend them all. But Next Level Soul and Third Eye Drops, great stuff. Really good. And Angelo is in the house. Dr. Gervago, Dr. Zinn. A bunch of people think that I'm a doctor, and I guess I am of sorts. A doctor of life, a doctor of love. I'm a love doctor. Anyway, getting silly now. I wanted to make sure Frances was back and oriented. It looks like she is. So last Tuesday, I met a new friend, Kelly Brickle from the Sacred Spiral Network has been booking some guests for me, and she booked Frances Pullin, right, who is a psychic medium. But when I learned more about Frances was that she's also a channel for Amadeus Mozart. And I'm a little bit of a psychic fetish. I have a psychic fetish. I love people who can connect to the spirit realm, who can connect to, you know, the non-physical energy of different entities and bring it through, you know, help communicate and help bring it to a physical form. A lot of people may struggle with it, but that's kind of why I'm here, to kind of give it a platform and let people see it and decide for themselves. I know for me, you know, I've had an emotional response several times listening to channelers speak light language and things like that. And for me, that's the indicator right there, right? When you're listening to something, so it's in your brain, you're thinking about it, and then it's manifesting itself physically into tears and into a choke in your throat, right? You just feel it. It's just a feeling. So I'm a big fan of this whole thing. And before I babble your ears off, let's welcome to the live stream of consciousness, Ms. Frances Pullin. What's up, Frances? Oh, can you hear me? Are you there? Oh, I think you were, oh, you know what? I think you were, I see exactly what you were doing. You were probably trying to join on your computer so you could hear me, and on your phone so you can see me. And then I didn't realize that. So I think I kicked out the computer portion. So I see you're joining that again. I will let you do that. I'm going to take you away from the screen. So I'll let you do that. And once you get into the other, into the computer so we can hear you, I'll put you back onto the screen. Unless you want to try to do it with your phone, you tell me. Anyway, this is live, not TV, but live broadcasting, folks. We are live. This is the live stream of consciousness. So if you want to say hello, you have any questions that you want to put into the queue, Frances is going to channel Amadeus Mozart for us. So it's like you're in the presence of the energy of Amadeus Mozart, and you can actually interact over space and time with this amazing entity. Let me bring Frances onto the stage and see if we can hear her. Hello, Frances.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. Yes, we can hear you. How you doing?
Great. I'm great. I'm going to ask everybody to say a prayer for the internet. It says it's weak here, so
all right. Say a prayer to keep
my hands in prayer.
All right. Well, we've got you loud and clear, so that's all I need. It's good to see you again, and I'm excited to
Great to be here. Thank you.
I want to keep this conversation going, but this is a different show, right? This is the live stream of consciousness. So the first thing that I usually do with my guests is I ask them a simple question or the most difficult question they've ever heard. I guess you decide, but that question is, what is consciousness? What are we talking about when we talk about consciousness? Did I lose you?
Only for a moment.
Okay. So did you hear my question?
No.
Okay. So my question is, what is consciousness? What are we talking about when we talk about consciousness?
Consciousness. It's an awareness that there's something greater than you and I. And where we have control over our lives, we can decide if we're going to wear a pink shirt or a blue shirt. There's some major things in our life that aren't up for grabs. And we write a story before we come, and it plays out. Minor adjustments here and there, but the big picture is the consciousness part. Spirit, guides, angels, the galactic, archangels, they all play a part in our lives. And when we connect with them and talk with them, things go so much more smoothly than if we just go willy-nilly and pretend like we're just here to play around, have a relationship, have a child, live, and then die. But consciousness has more to do with connecting yourself to that outside energy, being aware that there's something greater than you that loves you more than you've ever been able to comprehend. There's no judgment. What we do here on the earth, we judge ourselves. People judge us. Things go on that maybe shouldn't go on. But the unknown, the universal energy, whatever you want to call it, even if it's God, there's no judgment. You're accepted exactly like you are. And if there's what you might consider a mistake, it doesn't mean that there's a mistake. It means that you've learned a lesson. And the lessons are what we're here for. We learn lessons, we take them with us into our next lifetime. Our soul connects again and again and again, whether it's here on Earth or in another galaxy. It just continues. I hope that's easy for people to understand. I try to talk very simply. Some people might go into bigger words or more exotic places, but there's some real simplicity to this. It doesn't have to be difficult. It does not have to be treacherous.
Right.
It's simple.
Right.
It's loving. It's all encompassing.
I agree
And
with you.
now
That's beautiful.
I'm asking for the universal energy to straighten out this Wi-Fi again.
Well,
It
I
has a
didn't.
weak signal. There we go. Just in time.
I'm here with you. We didn't lose you. So your whole
I-
sentence, your whole thought came through.
Yes.
So we didn't lose you. It seems like you're just losing me for moments.
I just wanted to see your face again.
Yeah. Well, here I am. But I love what you said, and I think it's true. And I think the important thing, about you saying how simple it is yes, it's simple, but there's also kind of this level to the word faith comes to mind, where it's like, okay, I understand unconditional love because those are human words, right? Those are words that we created, but that the concept is more than that. It's bigger. Yes. It's bigger than that, and it's something that I don't think as human beings we could even express in words if we tried to, or even 100% in this three-dimensional form wrap our heads around it, right? We can only accept that we feel it and that we know it in that way, and in that simple way that you're talking about.
And it's what we're all looking for.
Yeah.
We're looking for unconditional love. And so that is where we'll find it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So I know we spoke a bit about this on Tuesday, but I do want to talk a little bit about your story, because for me, there are lots of different paths, right, to where people find their spirituality and find their connection with source and find their connection with their purpose. But many of the stories that I've encountered do involve kind of like tragedy, kind of this coming to this low point, in order to see that it's not a low point, right? In order to experience it and transform it into a transformation, right? A moment, an opportunity. And what comes to mind is a good friend of mine, Linda, who lost her son to an overdose, and she turned that whole situation into an opportunity to create a group for, bereavement, for mothers who have the same, mothers and fathers who have the same situation, and even family of members. And the group that she has created, whenever I work with them, and I do a lot of documenting of their events, the energy is so much love. The energy is the idea that their loved ones who've passed on are their angels. And very much, I thought of it very much because of what you said, that you had this agreement with your son, that that was part of his contract, was to pass on so that you could discover your purpose. I want to just talk about that for a minute.
Right. So the lowest point in my life, that's what I call it. My son was 33 years old, and he died of a heart attack. No history, just out of the blue, and it was over. And so, yeah, my darkness fell, and I often refer to it as being in the rabbit hole, dark and deep, and I didn't know how to get out. And a dear friend of mine has a sister, and she was teaching meditation and said, I really think you need to go. And so I did, and that was my rebirth. And it took me a long time to get used to people saying, well, you know, you had an agreement with your son. You planned this before you came. And I referred to that earlier, that we have a plan before we can't come, and we can't change some of the things. And I couldn't change that. It was over before I could blink my eyes. And of course I grieved, and of course I cried, and I screamed, and I got mad, and I went through all the grief emotions, and I came out on the other side immersed in spirituality. And I thank that son of mine. I thank him every day for putting me on this path, and I'm grateful to the universal energies, to God, to the angels, and he is an angel, for sending me down this path. I'm here to help people learn to love themselves. And when you feel that love, finally, doors open for you that you didn't even know were there. You're just in a whole new world. And spirituality is so forgiving and loving and caring. And I've met so many wonderful people that would have never come into my life, most likely.
Right.
And someone asked me today about something with a friend, and I said, well, gosh, they're all just like me. We're all different, of course, but my group of friends has filtered into, after 20 plus years, into spiritual community. And that's where I play. That's where I work. And yeah, grateful for him and for the agreement we made.
Yeah. That's
But
awesome.
be sure you read the fine print next time.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's very funny. So I got a question for you that makes me think about, and I don't know if you can even remember, right? Because sometimes we go through such profound changes that we don't even recognize our former selves, right? So before this tragedy, do you remember
I'll wait
yourself?
for you to come back.
Okay. I'll wait till you can hear me. You tell me when you get me. I'm gonna just sit here and I'm gonna talk, and I'm gonna wait for you to respond, and so that I know that you are back, or I'm back to you.
You're back.
I'm back to you. Great, beautiful. So my question is this: do you remember being specifically kind of like unaware of like self-love and not loving of yourself? Like, was your existence kind of like, what was your existence like before this tragedy, to make it such a profound change and such a profound, realization?
Well, I grew up in a very chaotic family, and I have to say that there weren't the I love yous, there weren't the hugs and kisses that some people get. I didn't know what love was. I got married at a very, very young age, and then divorced because I didn't know anything about love. And so we don't really understand the absence until someone loves us. And blessed be, I met a man who is kind and gentle and wonderful, and he supported me, and he loved me, and I was feeling different emotions. I wanted to argue with him about stuff. Quit telling me what to do. And then I'd step back and I'd say, gosh, he was right, and that was perfect, and how come I fight it? And I did fight it for a while. And then I got used to love. I got used to feeling what it is. And I realized I didn't love me. So I went on a course of my own, and I wrote a book. I wrote a couple books, but the one I'm speaking of now is called Loving the Me and Me, learning to love myself, grounding myself in that love vibration, knowing that nothing is perfect, but we can learn to love ourselves and accept ourselves and not always be searching for a compliment or overworking ourselves so that people like us. We're content liking ourselves. You know, I have this short brown hair that I color. Well, I like that.
Right.
You know, I like things about me. I don't have to sit and critique me and say, what did I do wrong? In fact, I didn't even watch Tuesday night show because I said to myself, if I watch it, I might not change who I am.
Right,
and
right.
I don't want to. I like me. So,
well, I'm glad you're saying that, because I like who you are too. I think the old me, I used to be more concerned, right? Like, oh, let me go back and watch that, see how I came off, right? But
yeah,
I don't think that way anymore, because I like me. And you know what? It doesn't matter what I sounded like, because I showed up, and that's all I needed to do was show up. And
guess what? It's out there.
That's
I
right.
can't take it back.
That's right. That's totally right. That's totally right. It's so freeing. It really is to love yourself. And you know what the thing is, I think a lot of people, they don't even realize that they don't love themselves.
You're missing.
So, I'm disappearing again. I disappeared again. Anyway, and I'm back. So I was just saying, yes, I feel like there's a lot of people out there who like don't even know that they don't love themselves, right? They feel like they do because of society. It's like, oh, you know what, I have this, I have that, you know what I mean? Things that they may have, possessions or certain things that really don't mean anything. I think that's what we're conditioned to kind of chase after, right? To kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Distract us from
perfect word.
Yeah, from loving ourselves and seeing how amazing we are and perfect. Actually, there was something that you said in the last show, you said something about I'm not perfect and that's okay, right? And
right.
I totally get that, but for me, that right there is perfect. Right? That's perfect. You are perfect because you're not perfect. And that's a part of it. I think.
And what is perfect?
And what is perfect? Exactly. Totally right. It's so great to be able to have these conversations with people and do it in front of people. And I hope that the people who are out there kind of receiving this energy are right there and smiling along with us and saying yeah, you know what, I do love myself, and I do know what that has done for me in my life. And I think for you and for me, that's kind of become part of our purpose, right? Is showing other people it's super easy. All you got to do is do it. This show right here is just, something that I knew how to do because I'm a computer guy. And I was like, let me just do it. Let me just start showing up. And if you build it, they will come, kind of thing. And I developed a little bit of a community, people who have been here since day one. And I've been doing this for almost 4 years now.
Wow.
And then growing to the Sacred Spiral Network, where there's now a whole other community of people. And again, we spoke about this on Tuesday. coming across each other, you know what I mean? Becoming a part of each other's vortex is all a part of that. I think you probably lost me again, the way you're looking.
You're back.
I'm back. All good. All good. I was just talking about how, you know, we've become part of each other's vortex.
Right.
And that's just, you know, I think that just is a testament to being in the right place and on the right path, you know, when everything seems to come together and you wake up and the sun is shining and you're happy, or you wake up and it's raining and you're still happy. I think
and you're in gratitude. You're just in gratitude that you found that joy.
Totally.
What if we were still looking for it? We wouldn't feel as good as we do. So that's why you and I are helping people
totally
to learn to love themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. There's this artist, a musical artist called Abel Hart. I don't know if you've seen Abel Hart. He's this young guy and he does these this modern kind of hip hop music, but it's about loving yourself, right? I'm a magnet and I attract it. And he talks about, you know, all of this stuff. And he's achieved a certain level of success through it. And he comes on now and he talks about, he's like, you know how I got here? I just pretended that I was already here. I acted like I already had it all and I was exactly who I wanted to be. And it all came to fruition. It all kind of happened. I kind of grew into this. He grew into the vision of himself that he had for himself.
Manifestation.
It's
at
amazing.
its finest.
It's amazing. Well, you know, it's interesting that, again, you know, you were kind of switched into this lifestyle from a tragic situation, but the good thing about it is here you are now, doing what you do and helping so many people. And again, I was talking to you earlier about how fascinated I am with what you do, channeling, and specifically even channeling such a figure as Amadeus Mozart. I want you to bring him here. But before you do, just for some people who may not have seen the show on Tuesday, if you could just tell us the quick story about how that all started with the automatic writing and how he came to you and all of that, because that's a fun little story too.
Quick story. I was in an automatic writing class that happened right after my meditation class. And I saw a wizened old man, and he said his name was Amadeus, I thought. So I called him Amadeus. And then I started teaching automatic writing a few years later. I felt really comfortable. And my students said, well, what if it's Mozart? What if it's really Mozart? He was so excited. And so we asked. And I heard Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. And I went, whoa, okay, all right. So I shared with him that, you know, what I had received, and we kind of got excited. And then I went out into the world and told people that I channeled Amadeus Mozart. Mm-hmm. And at one point, someone asked during a psychic fair, I was doing a talk and I was channeling, and someone said to Amadeus, is the channel your sister from that lifetime? And Amadeus said, yes. Mm. And I didn't want to believe it because I wasn't good enough. Mm. At that point, I didn't feel good enough to have that energy with me. And as time went on, I got used to it. And I began channeling him all the time and enjoying him. And one year, my granddaughter went to Prague. So I tagged along for a weekend. My husband and I went to Europe and spent a weekend with her and played around different countries. Mm-hmm. And we went to Austria, the three of us, and went to my house where I lived with Amadeus. And then I went to my gravesite. And my name was Maria Anna. And there was an energy there. And I was looking for confirmation. I wanted the last piece. What was it going to be? What was I going to find there? And I heard a voice in my left ear saying, "You have the energy. There's nothing here for you." And I just started crying again. I cry a lot. I was overjoyed. I was overtaken. The story was as true as it could be. And I didn't know what else to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I came home and I've done some podcasts of my own. I have a little YouTube channel that's kind of sparse, but I'm not a computer genius like you. I'm just a baby when it comes to computers, but I get better all the time.
Sure.
And I heal people with the messages from Amadeus.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I make people cry. And I hate to say it, but I really like to make people cry.
Sure. Sure.
Because that means they broke through.
Yeah.
Something touched their heart. Something touched their soul, their consciousness that you referred to earlier. Something got them.
Yeah.
And they can start to heal.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, it's a validation of this energetic exchange, right? When the person is crying, it's like, okay, there's some sort of energy here that moves the physical matter, which is fascinating to me. I love
Just
that.
fascinating.
Yeah, totally. And something interesting, I was doing a little bit of research, right, in between yesterday or Tuesday and today about Mozart, right, and his sister, and I started to read some stuff, and it definitely went along with what you said as far as certain things about having talent, being almost like more talented in the youth, and it was there was some interesting stuff about and we talked about it during the week, women's role, right, in society in general, right? So music, when you think about music and composers, I mean, I don't know if anybody can even like name a female composer. There are many of them, but they're not the ones that you hear about and talk about.
Right.
And I think it's fascinating today because it's such a different world that we live in. I think it was funny because in my research, here, I think I have it here. It says during their early years, Leopold Mozart, the father, paraded both of them around Europe performing for nobility. They were basically the Beyonce and Solange of classical music, which are two like big pop stars now. But what I wanted to say was, have you done any research? Did that prompt you to do any research, or you just kind of was like, I feel this, I feel it, I know it, I don't really need to even know the details? Because I know we talked about somebody asking you a question just to kind of see if you're being honest, right?
Right.
But I mean, does that even really play? That's not even a role here. I don't think.
Yes, of course. When I realized that night that it was really Mozart, I went home and I know how to find anything on the internet. It's
Sure.
even better all these years later. But
Yeah.
I looked him up, and yes, and he had many sisters named Maria Anna, and they passed away. And then when another girl child was born, that was her name again. And I thought that very curious because we wouldn't typically do that in our lifetimes,
Mm-hmm.
in these generations. But they just kept taking this family name and using it over and over and over.
Interesting.
And that was curious.
Mm-hmm.
I found out that I was good. I found out that I composed.
Mm-hmm.
And he took some of my music and used it. I don't know which ones because, of course, I don't relate to that lifetime anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And it was interesting. I watched a movie called Mozart's Sister. And it was with a girlfriend. We were at her house. And as we watched it, I realized that I was identifying with the female character. And when they closed this one door on the music room in the movie, it brought me to tears.
Wow.
Because I could feel that emotion from that past life when they shut me out. And that's what Mozart says he's here for in this lifetime, is to repay the karma from that lifetime.
Right.
So he knows what he did, and he's here. He said to put me on the dais, which is the stage. And so in this moment in time, I'm on your stage.
I love that so much.
And so he's fulfilled what he set out to do. And I'm so happy that his energy is part of my subconscious mind.
Yeah. Me too. And I do believe in what you say, like this karmic reason, right, for coming back is and the message of self-love, right? He's not back for any sort of musical interaction with you at all. It has nothing to do with it. It has to do with the relationship and how he affected your own relationship with yourself in that lifetime.
And it stayed for generations. Right. Because I wasn't feeling loved by them. And so I came into this lifetime not feeling loved or knowing what it was. How many lifetimes did I have where I didn't feel love? And now he's helped correct that.
That's awesome.
And I thank him for that.
That's awesome. So that brings up an interesting question. Obviously, you have a connection to the idea of past lives. I think we may have touched on the idea of time not really even existing, right? That it's not a past life, but a parallel life, right? That's happening right now as we speak. Absolutely. In another dimension, another vibration. Do you feel like now that you've achieved this kind of healing, like you're ready to go on and not come back in a physical form again? Or do you feel like you're coming back?
Well, I do feel that I have achieved my life's purpose with me, but I'm still teaching others. And, I just love it here. I know a lot of people that say they don't, but I love it here. Sure. And if I could come back, or if I never had to leave, because I don't have to leave, right?
Right.
It's a parallel life. Right. I would just stay teaching people to love themselves for the rest of whatever.
There you go. Okay. So if you're given the choice, you'll say, I'm going back.
I'm staying. I'm not even leaving.
That's awesome. I love that. And you know what? I think that is a true another testament to self-love, right? For somebody to say, I love this place, especially when to most people, if you turn on the TV, if you look around, it looks like the world's burning down around you. But to not see it that way, I think that's important. I think that's a key to getting through it, right? Is to visualizing it and a gratitude, living from the heart and being like, I'm here. I know that there are people around me who love me. I know that I can love. So I know that when I do love, how it feels to me and the response that it has to the outside world, the ripples that it creates, right? So exactly. it's almost like, all right, I'm just gonna take that path, right? I'm gonna use that method of living. Very cool.
We just have to enjoy it. We have to find the joy. And you've heard my story. Not a nice family childhood, a death of a son. My parents are gone, my sister, my brother. People are gone. They've left. But I communicate with them. So they're not really gone.
Yeah.
And that helps me because of my belief system. It helps me to appreciate, and we work on the forgiveness that Amadeus came here to pay this karma. I'm working on the forgiveness with my mom and dad for things I did and things they did. And that's part of the self-love journey, is to forgive yourself for what you did.
Absolutely.
Admitting what you did. Yeah.
Absolutely. Big important message, big important vibration to live through. And again, it's great that just kind of by subscribing to that and deciding to live that way, that you can see and other people can see the ripples, that, like I said, the vibration and the effect that it has, and it just grows and grows and grows.
And there's always hope.
And there's always hope.
There's always hope.
And there's always hope. So refreshing. I would love to bring on Amadeus if you're ready.
Okay. It'll take me just a second here. It is I, Amadeus. Greetings to all of you. Those of you listening in, those of you who will see this later, and greetings to you, Michael. We met a few days ago, and your energy really resonates with both of us, Frances and myself. So thank you for this opportunity to bring the sole purpose of love of self forward and to help me to repay my karma.
Wow.
Because I love her.
Wow.
I'm so
honored.
if you're looking for a few words, know that I, unlike her, have decided not to return again. I am staying, going other places, enjoying, fulfilling my curiosity for other things in other places. And I'm letting her do what she wants as I do what I want.
Interesting. I love it. I love it. And thank you for that. That was, I hadn't even thought of that. I know I asked Frances how she felt, and it's interesting to see how you felt. So it sounds,
well, I'm listening in,
it sounds to me like you're actually like on a cosmic adventure, kind of checking out all of the things you could do as an energetic being, and channeling through other physical beings.
Yes. And there may come a point in time when Frances is ready to do that also. It may be sooner than she knows or than she thinks. She may be already doing it. But her consciousness at this time is here on the earth plane. It isn't out there chasing stars and galaxies and moons and other lives, other forms of life.
Interesting. I love that you are on this new mission and this karmic mission to kind of help people heal and explain how important it is to love themselves through helping Frances love herself and showing the transformation that she's going through. And she goes around and she tells her story, and it's just amazing how people can respond to it. I'm more curious. We didn't really get to talk a lot about it, but I'm a musician, and I know for me, how music connects me with source and connects me with flow, right? This flow state. What do you feel about the state of creativity today, in this current world? I mean, is there a specific modality of creativity that you relate with, or is it still music? Or
there is always room for a new sound to emerge, for a creative soul to find something new, a new toy. But most of it has already been discovered, and it's just coming back in different forms. If it's a hip hop, it's a different form of the same song, perhaps, that used to be a ballad, now it's a hip hop. So there's creativity. It helps you to flow on the earth. It helps your soul to resonate with the energies. And whatever creative aspect you are involved in, with you, it is music. It brings life to your energetic field. It makes you you. It makes you shine when you might feel down. You can pick up music. You can listen to music. You can create music and change the vibration around you. It does not have to remain down or negative or depressed. It can become joyful in just a moment's time, in a heartbeat, as they say. So keep it up. Do not let it go just because you have discovered this new spiritual world that you are intrigued with. We are excited you have discovered spirituality, but we're also thrilled that you have your music. And should you be a painter, we would love that too. If you're doing pottery and it brings you joy and it changes your energetic field, we love that. All of us on the other side celebrate with you. Keep it up.
I love that. I love the positive message. So you had mentioned the last time we spoke about you having this ability to channel your message all around the world through other people as well. Is that message the same? Are those relationships also the same? So in other words, the relationship that you have with Frances in the past, are those this same relationships with the other people that you channel through? Are they people that are connected to you energetically through time?
Actually, they are connected to me in some way or another, yes. But because what she and I had happened and I grew and I know that I should not have done that, and I'm repaying the karmic energy from that lifetime. Each person that channels me is a person from a different lifetime, or perhaps the same lifetime, but not the same situation. So we cannot repeat. I can ask others to spread love of self, but for different reasons. Not to be putting them on a stage, perhaps, but maybe they were the class bully, and now I'm teaching them not to be and to repay their karma. So there's things that Frances is repaying from her lifetimes also, because with each lifetime you learn a lesson. You leave and you return to learn something new. Does that make sense to you?
It does make sense to me, and I feel like part of what you're saying, and this may have been part of my experience too, is the two-way energy of that healing, right? So you're here to kind of help Frances love herself, but in doing that, that's healing you energetically, kind of back in your original energy.
Very definitely.
Yeah.
Very definitely, because I'm peeling back a layer of something that I created that was not the most positive. And Frances has this saying, and she knows a lot of people peel back the layer on the onion, and she prefers to peel back the petals on the rose. And so with this, I am peeling back a petal on the rose.
Mhm.
And the more petals you pull, the more things you heal. Inside
Mhm.
is the fragrance.
Mhm.
Inside is the rose hip. Inside are what makes the next rose bloom. So we appreciate her concept.
Mhm.
And we are so proud to be working with her and learning from her.
Mhm. I love that. Yeah, I love that. I definitely can remember moments, you know, moments of information, of kind of just sitting in thought and making realizations about myself and my past, specifically with my relationship with my father who has passed, and feeling, wow, I just healed something by thinking it through, and literally feeling that I've also healed the same feelings that existed in him, and the same
And
issues.
you are healing him.
Yeah, yeah.
If you are not speaking to him yet through automatic writing or through chatter, one day you may.
Mm,
And he will thank you for helping him heal that piece. And keep in mind, that piece would not have happened if it were not for you being you.
mhm, of
And
course,
so please forgive you for
yeah,
those moments of
of course,
realization.
of course, yeah. I think that was the healing, was the forgiving of
Yeah,
myself and the forgiving of my father in a specific
perfect.
situation. Yeah, awesome.
That is perfect. We are so pleased for you.
Yeah.
It's such a growth of the soul. It
So
makes everything worthwhile.
it really does. It
It
really does.
makes having been here and experienced all of these things a place of gratitude that you're able to accomplish these things.
Mhm.
It's a gift from the universal energy. We love you, Michael.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
Thank you. I feel that. I feel this reflecting love of the universe and myself, right? I'm giving out that energy, and it's coming right back. And Amadeus and Frances, thank you so much for bringing me the opportunity to interact with this idea, right? Because that's really what this is, right? We're both exploring thought, and we're traveling in on a vibration that is not physical, and being able to express it, it feels so great. I really feel the gratitude, so I appreciate that.
Oh, yes. The possibilities. Enjoy every moment.
Yeah,
And we thank you.
thank you. Before I bring Frances back, I mean, I know your message is one of self-love. Is there another specific anecdote that you may have for us that can bind us through time and through unconditional love?
Mm. There was a time when I learned unconditional love. And I had awakenings just like you and just like her. And they seemed insignificant when they happened to me. And as I have reborn and reborn and rebirthed, I see how important they are. And just listening to you express yourself of the moment of forgiveness of self makes all the things I do so worthwhile.
Mm.
My presence here with Frances and others on this world that you live in are really important. And I can say I'm doing important work without feeling like I'm bragging or I'm too important for anything. I do it. I say it because I love me. And I want that for you, for her, and for as many people as you might touch. I hope you have enjoyed our chat.
1,000,000%. Absolutely. Overjoyed. I'm overjoyed.
Yay.
Excellent.
It appears we have lost Michael for a moment.
Oh.
But I can say to you that it has been my absolute pleasure to be with you this evening. And I am going to close like I always do. Please go in love, light, and laughter for eternity. Amadeus. Yay.
Yeah, welcome back.
Thank you.
I love those parting words. Please go in love, light, and I love it so much. Such great words, such great energy to share. Frances, I thank you so much. Again, I'm so glad that we met, and I'm so glad that we can connect and share this with each other and share this with the world.
And thank you for your generosity. You are giving so much just by having these shows that seem so simple to you.
Yeah.
I realize they're not all that simple.
You know what? It is. It's not because it might not be for someone else, but for me it is. Not only is it simple because technology and this kind of stuff is my thing, but it's simple because it's really coming from the heart. It's coming from such a great place, just like your message and just like what you're doing.
Those are great messages, but I can't. No, I'm learning to do more and more on the computer every day.
Yes.
I'm not afraid to learn. So, it's all good. But you've got them both together, and I appreciate you inviting me to share the time and space with you.
Well, it's my absolute pleasure, and we will definitely do it again.
Thank you.
I'm going to put you in the green room again. Don't sign off because I want to say goodbye to you personally. But let me say goodnight to the audience, and then we'll talk later. So we'll see you again. Oh my goodness! 2 nights this week with Amadeus and Frances, and just the pure intention of being together in a moment, you know what I mean, and just like knowing, okay, I'm going to spend the next hour expressing love, right? Like, man, I just looks forward to it. As always, another fantastic show. Yes, Ninja Kitty, as always, thank you to you for being here, and thank you to any of you guys who stuck around. I really do appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate the ability to sit here on the screen, like Frances said, and know how to just set this up and put the right buttons, and boom, now I'm broadcasting to the world, and I can bring on somebody and have an amazing conversation, reach you guys. Big hug, big group hug to everybody. Tuesday, I do know I've got who do I've got? I've got Suri Sawyer happening on Holding Space. And Holding Space, I've got a bunch of guests: Todd Bates, Jennifer Lee, Maria Goncalves, a bunch of people for June, even into July. The Livestream of Consciousness, I'm working on a bunch of people, but I'm really hoping to get Darius on the show. If you know who he is, that will be a dream. Anyway, good to see you guys. I will see you guys again on Tuesday, and then for holding space, and then on Thursday for another episode of the live stream. Peace.
This is the theme song for the live stream of consciousness. You gotta ask yourself whether reality is a dream or you are dream reality. We're all a part of the answer to the meaning of it all.